Samantha from Jessima Tutorials here, and today I'm going to show you what to make using the leftovers from this project. Now, this was the pair of earrings that was made in yesterday's tutorial, and although they turned out really nice, there were a lot of leftovers, and I said that I was going to use those leftovers anyway, in a project, and that's what today's video is going to be like. So, if you want to see how to create these, there is a link in the description below, but for now we're going to be focusing purely on those scraps. So, here's the metal leaf with the alcohol inks, and here is the little dappled gold piece. And before I work with these, I'm also going to bring over a piece of black polymer clay, and I'm just going to give it a quick burnish, and this is going to be the complementing veneer for the scraps, and together they're going to make a pair of earrings. Now, I'm doing this one first because I specifically want to silk screen over the top and then crackle that pattern, so it needs to be done first. Now, I am going to bring over a silk screen, specifically a leopard pattern one. I'm just going to lay that down like so, and I'm going to use this white acrylic paint, and this is the one that will allow the crackles. I really recommend this brand of paint. I use it for pretty much all of my projects that involve acrylic paint. Definitely recommend it if you're looking for a paint for your clay projects. Now I'm just going to take that and I'm going to pop that across the surface like so. Then just swipe across like so, and peel that up to reveal the pattern, and then clean that silk screen immediately using just regular old water. Okay, and then just lift that up, and that's how it should look. Leave that for at least an hour to let the paint completely dry, and then it should be crackleable. Okay, and then as for these little pieces, I'm just going to take both of the scraps and just lay them down flat like so, and I'm going to give it a thorough burnish, especially this one over here, because I don't want it to be textured anymore. If anything, I just want it to have the crackles. So just give it a good burnish, flattening everything out. You could even use an acrylic roller to do that, just to flatten everything out. Okay, and that will have crackled both pieces, and we'll just leave you with something nice and flat and easier to work with. Then I'm going to trim away the extra bit of black there. That can actually just go straight back into my clay packet, and then the rest I'm going to actually chop up. Okay. And to do that, just cut it into strips, and I'm not even concerned about them being completely even. I'm just cutting them all into general strips of clay, thin and wide. Does not really matter. Do the same here, like so. Then just pick up a strip. Doesn't even matter if it breaks, though picking it up will probably make it easier, so let me just pick that up using my blade. The same here. Just pick that up. Here we go. And then just take strips and just piece them together at random. This is supposed to look very messy, and just very organic looking. You can press them together like so and just go through the whole piece, ripping off bits and adding it where you want, like so. Okay, and there we go. Then grab a piece of paper again and give it a burnish, and a thorough one at that, to close up all of the gaps. Okay, there we go. Then just lift that up, and that will have picked up a little bit of the alcohol ink, but in general it should be good and flat. Then take your blade and lift that up, and that is how it should look. You can see what the back looks like too. I'm going to pop that off to the side and wait for the paint to dry, and then we can crackle the other vignette and start putting the earrings together. Okay, and this has dried. I've also gone and salt screened on the other side, so we'll have double-sided pieces there. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to give this a roll, and I'm actually going to put a piece of greaseproof paper down so that it doesn't potentially stick to my roller, and then give it a roll. Okay, and I'll just show you that that has started to crackle, and it's going to be a very fine crackle, not going to be too much, just enough that it's going to add some extra interest. And let me just bring over another piece, because I don't really want it to stick while I'm doing this. Place that down and then roll again. And you could put through your pasta machine as well, and each time you roll, just lift up both areas so that it's not stuck, so that it will stretch again when you roll it. And remember to roll in different directions. Okay, and at this point I'm going to put it through the pasta machine on the second thinnest setting, so about 1 millimeter thick, because that's how thick I want the earrings to be. And here's how it looks once I've done that. So as you can see, a very, very fine crackle. And on the other side, which was the most recent one where I didn't let it dry as long, there's basically no crackle. So the longer you let it dry, the better the crackle is going to be. But with that, we can now assemble the earrings. And for that, I've just got it sitting on a piece of plain printing paper, and I'm going to cut a strip out, like so. Put this to the side. This is the piece I'm going to work with for now. Okay. And then I'm going to bring over this piece, and I'm going to also cut that in half, perpendicular to the stripes. Peel that away, move that to the side, and this I am going to turn around, and I'm going to stick those two pieces together, like so. Then take both of them and give it a burnish, especially along that seam line, because you want those two to join back up together. So make sure you give it a good old burnish there to stick everything together. And then I'm going to flip and peel that up. And that's what that side's going to look like. And because I want it to be double-sided, I've already got the silk screened area looking good, but this side over here I want to look nice. And for that I'm going to texture it. And before I do that, I'm going to apply some water so that the texture that I'm using doesn't stick. And just apply that mainly over the black area. And I'm also going to apply a little bit to the texture that I am going to be using, which is the crackle texture from the last video. Okay. Then take that, turn it around, and we're going to texture it a couple of times. And we're doing this on a piece of paper, so it should prevent the clay from picking up any unwanted shiny bits, because you're pressing it against a matte surface, and so you should be left with a nice matte finish. And just texture down a couple of times like so to get the pattern that you desire. Okay, and this is the cutter that I'm going to be using. It is my rounded rectangle donut cutter, and I'm just going to position that in a spot that I like on the clay, and I'm going to press, and hopefully it doesn't stick in the cutter. If it does, it should be easy to press out. There we go. Then just gently remove that from the cutter like so. There we go. Okay, and it only sticks a little bit because we're cutting things out on a piece of paper. Now I'm going to pop that to the side, and I'm going to cut out another one, but just going the opposite way. Okay, and that's how it should look. Now I do also want some middle pieces, so I'm just going to bring over the black that we've got, and I'm going to cut out some middle pieces using the donut cutter like so. And I will use a little baby wipe to get rid of the paint on the surface here, and then I can just add that straight back in with my black, so there's no scrap there. And there we go, that's one. Then I'll remove the extra, and again it is sticking in the clay, but that's because it is quite thin, and also especially because we're cutting on a piece of paper. Excuse me, that actually went right off screen. There we go. But those will be the two middle pieces. Okay. And then again, you can clean that up and there'll be no scraps. And of course, you can use this, chop it back up, use the same thing, piece it back together with the black. There's lots of ways that you can continue to use that. But again, I'm only making one pair of earrings. Then I'm going to bake that for a full hour at pretty much recommended temperature. I'm going to leave it flat because I want to apply resin to it. Okay, and here is how they look once they're out of the oven. And here's what the backs look like. If you have any uneven edges, give them a quick sand, but they should be just about good to go. So in that case, I'm going to put these two to the side. These are the ones I'm going to resin, and I'm just going to bring over a small little silicone mat to put them on. And this is the resin that I am going to be using. Okay, just going to open that bottle and then pop that down, and you only need a little bit, and the resin does make the earrings a fair bit heavier, and that is why I'm using only a small amount, or a thin earring today, because if you're going to put resin on, generally it's a good idea to take that into account on the weight side of things. And also the resin does make the earring or anything that you put it on, stiffer, and so you don't need to worry about it being quite thin, because thin polymer clay is quite flexible polymer clay. And then just spread the resin around like so. Pop that into the UV light for about 15 minutes to set it completely. And then I am going to apply just regular old varnish to the other pieces. Okay, and while those are curing, I'm going to apply a gloss varnish to these, because I do still need to give them a bit of a shine. And what I'm using is Varathane water-based gloss varnish, but any gloss varnish you prefer to use for your polymer clay pieces will work. Something like Pearl X works quite well as well. But yeah, just apply a layer of varnish to those and allow those to dry, and they shouldn't take too long. They'll probably be just about done by the time the UV resin cures. And then for both pieces I will flip them over and I will varnish the backs as well, because those also need to look nice. Okay, and here is how that looks once it's out of the UV light. Now, usually what I would do is I would just drill a hole right there and string it, but I thought let's try something different today, especially since it's kind of got a African theme. I wanted to give wire wrapping a little bit of a shot. So here's the other one, and this is what I'm going to show you how to make. If you want to skip this part, all you would do is you'd use a little pin drill, and you would drill at the top over here, attach a jump ring, and then attach your ear wire. But for those of you that would like to give wire wrapping a bit of a shot, here's an idea. This is the wire that I am using, and it is bronze, dead soft, and here's the gauge. That's quite important. And you're going to need a fair bit. Where is it now? Excuse me, that's not actually the wire I'm using. This is the one that I'm using. There's the gauge. It's 30 gold, and I got this from Fire Mountain Gems and Beads. And this is the one I'm going to be using. Okay, and you're going to want quite a bit of wire, so just give yourself a bit to work with. And let me know in the comments below if you've worked with wire before and if you use it with your polymer clay. I'm curious to know. But you're going to take that length and you're going to split it essentially. Where you're going to pop the polymer clay down until the middle of the wire. And then you're going to just bring that up like so and give it a pinch so that it's just about in the right spot. It will still move around, but that's fine. Then bring over a jump ring that you want to use, and you're going to pop that through one of the wires, and you're going to pop the other wire through the opposite way. Sorry, I'm going to try to show this as best I can. It is a bit fiddly, but there, you'll have them strung through like so. Position that in the middle of your piece, just about, and bend over the one way, and bend over the other way. Don't pull it tight yet. You want to get the jump ring into the correct spot first, which is sitting right at the top of your piece, and that's when you want to pull tight. Pull tight on the one end and pull tight on the other end, and that should get it just about in the right spot. Okay, then hold your wire in place and then go with your wires, and what you do on the one end you're going to do with the other, and you're going to wrap it around and go through the jump ring about 3 times on each end, and each time pull that tight, and then just repeat until you have about 3 wraps. Okay, and I did the same on the other side. Then what you're going to do is you're going to bring that around and you're going to wrap it specifically around your jump ring 3 times. And just pull that wire and just try not to let it pull tight in those loops, because they'll add these kind of annoying little chinks in your wire. But you want to wrap it like that, and you'll wrap that 3 times, and you'll repeat with the other one as well, wrapping around the jump ring, and that's what's going to really secure that wire in place, and it will also secure the jump ring in place. Okay, and then once you've done that, then trim the wire as close to that jump ring as you can. Like so. Okay, and then use a pair of flat nose pliers to just squish that tiny little tail end in towards the jump ring so that it's not sticking out and going to poke anybody. And that is what you should be left with. And after all that, you might want to give your resin a little bit of a clean with a damp rag, just because there's going to be a little bit of buildup of dust on it, and so you want to just give it a little clean, and that should just about clean it up, and then it will be nice and shiny and should remove any fingerprints. And then the last step is just going to be to grab an ear wire of choice, and for those of you that work with wire a lot and know how to make your own ear wires, this is a perfect opportunity to make something that matches. I haven't quite got into that yet. I plan to do that in the future. Let me know in the comments below if you would like to see me make ear wires from wire in the future, and I'll look into doing it sooner. But yeah, just assemble it by popping the ear wire in, and that's essentially all there is to assembling the piece. And here is the other one. And as for these 2 pieces, I haven't actually decided what I want to do with them yet. This design was not planned from the beginning. I kind of got the idea as it developed, and so, well, I admit I got distracted, and these 2 pieces are now not going to get used for that. I'm going to pop them to the side and use them in a future project. But yeah, that is just about it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please do let me know in the comments below, and consider leaving a like and subscribing, as I do videos like this every single day. And if you'd like to support the channel so I can continue doing videos just like this one, please do consider checking out my Etsy store. There is a link in the description below. I sell all sorts of polymer clay related tools on there, such as the cutters and the salt screen I used today. And if you'd like to support the channel a different way, please do consider becoming a member. There is a join button just below this video. I have monthly video releases on there that are exclusive to the membership, so please do consider checking that out, as it is greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.